Hey, this is a video about customer service or the lack of, and it occurred in Chick-fil-A in Mesa, Arizona. And I debated for a long time whether or not I even do this video. And I am. I decided finally I am because Chick-fil-A advertises customer service all the time, and this was a good example of how they just don't do it. And I felt slighted, and I think people should know about it. Anyway, the story goes my wife drove through the drive through and came home without her credit card. Okay, so immediately we put the card on hold. We called Chick fil A, and as soon as she said the words credit card, all of a sudden the person on the other end said, "Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you," and put the phone down and walked away. Never came back, never called back. And in this day and age, digital phones, I just don't understand that. Them claiming that they have a bad phone. Anyway, you can pause the video at this point and you can see what I actually sent to Chick-fil-A, the corporate office, afterwards. But this is after I went to the restaurant with my wife. She stayed in the car. I got out. I went inside the restaurant. There were no customers in there, just myself and a person waiting for like Uber Eats or something like that. I don't know. I didn't talk to them. Nobody turned around to help me except this young man that was finishing his lunch. He said, "Sir, can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, I want to speak to the manager on duty." Well, that manager finally came over and talked to me and did send somebody out there to check out to see if anybody found it out in the drive-thru. Of course, nobody found it. And I went outside while the girl was checking and called the phone again, and the phone was still busy. It was busy, 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 because it was still off the hook. And the girl walked right by me. And I really thought she would stop and say, "Sir, we didn't find the card," or "Sir, we found it," something. But I walked back inside the restaurant again. I stood there and stood there and stood there and stood there and stood there for many minutes until the manager, finally somebody came over and said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "I want to speak to the manager." She came over and she talked to me and she said, "Well, I didn't see you there." I said, "Well, your girl walked right by me and nobody said anything to me." And I said, "I'm standing here in your restaurant. You don't even notice that I'm here?" She treated me like a non-person. And by the way, not one soul in that restaurant except myself was wearing a mask. And this is during the height of the pandemic, right? A month ago. The pandemic's still going on, I believe. Well, the way it turns out is corporate sends me a thanks for the opportunity to get it right. Well, they didn't get it right. They didn't do anything. They didn't treat us like a human being. I said they weren't responsible for the credit card, and I meant it. But they're responsible for actually treating us like a person while we're inquiring about it. That's what they didn't get right. And I'm not going to accept their little lousy dessert that they were going to offer as a condolences for not getting it right. In fact, I'm never going to Chick-fil-A ever again in my life. And if you've ever listened to Tom Peters' business series, you know what that means? That's called customer for life. The returns on a customer for life are monumental. You don't just make a sell one time. You make a sell over and over and over and over for many, 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 many years. And the friends that I talk to, the friends that are influenced by me, people that are influenced by me, that's the cost of losing a lifelong customer. And this has happened. And you can start adding up. Okay, so I spent $30 there that week, which is the average for us. And we would have gone there to 3 meals, extra sandwich, who knows what we buy. It's anywhere from $20 to $30. Okay, if we did that once and twice a month, go ahead, add it up yourself. And now add it up times 20 years, times 100 friends of mine that I tell this bad story about. Will it bring Chick-fil-A down? No. But it will provide some customer service or bad customer service communication from the public. And perhaps they'll actually do something about it then. Perhaps they'll actually put a mask on in their restaurant when they think that nobody can see them except for those that are outside by the cars and those that are by the window. No one else in the restaurant had a mask on. And I don't appreciate that as a customer at all. And I'll never go to Chick-fil-A again. Pause the video on any of these slides and you can see their communication and mine. And you tell me who's right, who's wrong. All I asked for was a little bit of respect. Little respect, and that's it. Thank you for listening.